called Dirty Jobs. Great show. Used to be on Discovery. It might still be. Be honest, I don't watch TV anymore. Definitely don't watch cable TV or anything like that. So I wouldn't catch this. But if you do watch Discovery and he's on there still, let me know in the comments. But he used to do a show called Dirty Jobs, and where he'd go around doing all the dirtiest, all the most thankless jobs, but the shit that people need done. And he would put a showcase on it. It was great. And he's got this very cool, interesting voice. So he's, it's almost like a Morgan Freeman for that. Like he's got this real deep sort of voice that makes him notorious. Anyways, I'm going to play this. He was on Fox Business talking about college, like the lie of college, how people think they're going to go into college. They're going to get they're going to go for 4 years to get a degree or diploma, whatever, and then come out and make a ton of money. And that's not how he sees it.
Let's get on with what we're here for. You said something interesting about 4-year college degrees. You say they are shameful, or they are seen as shameful. That's
right.
Strong stuff.
Well, I just mentioned PR with regard to utilities. That's what I was talking about with degrees. I'm not saying that there's anything inherently shameful about getting one, but I do think from a PR standpoint, something really interesting has happened. I've been talking about it for a long time, but in higher ed, everything is based on the perception of value around the credential. And that perception is tied very specifically to the belief that it makes you knowledgeable. You get the degree, it's a reflection of your intellect, your wisdom, your knowledge. I think that's over.
Yep.
I think that connection no longer exists in the minds of many millions of parents. I think they're starting to see the degree as a thing you purchase in a very transactional way, in the same way that I believe a lot of universities have come to see their students as consumers. And so what's gotten arbitraged, if you will, out of the whole conversation is the actual knowledge that you would assume comes with a degree. We were mentioning earlier, right, not to pick on Harvard, but in 1955, the average GPA among the graduates was 2.55. Today, it's 3.8%.
What?
Wow. They're not that much smarter.
Let's put it that way.
A lot of people are getting A's. A lot of legacies are going through. We just saw the president being defended by the Harvard Corporation over 50 counts of plagiarism. We saw
Everybody
the
gets some medal.
anti-Semitic thing. Put it all together, and you find a lot of alumni not only holding back on donations, but they're taking their degree off of the wall, frankly, because they're tired of talking about this. That's a PR problem, and if higher ed doesn't take it seriously, the chickens will come home to roost.
To me, the big breakdown in higher education came during the pandemic. When the schools were closed, the kids had to mask up, they didn't go, they lost the university experience. I think the breakdown in higher education started then. You with me?
New York University raised its tuition during Zoom classes.
What a joke.
At some point, you've got to look at the people who are paying the bills. It's almost like they're being dared, right? It's like, how much further will it go? Meanwhile, in my little tiny world, we offer work ethic scholarships for kids who want to learn a skill that's in demand. The foundation's never been more robust. We're giving away another $1 million at the end of the month for these kinds of scholarships. They're not.
All right, stop there. He just goes on about this, kind of plugging his own thing a little bit there. But yeah, great point. So funny. You get where people are remote learning, and then they're paying more to remote learn. Wouldn't you think the prices would go down? The whole thing's a racket now. The whole college university thing, it's a racket. As with everything, and he kind of alludes to that, the pushing the envelope with people, which I find funny. I've said this a number of times, just with various things. I'm going to use something small and insignificant and relatable. You ever notice a candy bar? Like in Canada, we call them chocolate bars. Really, they're candy bars because they're not real chocolate. But you ever notice I don't know, let's just say a Kit Kat or anything like that. Look at the size of it now. They get smaller and the price goes up. Smaller and smaller, price goes up. That's what seems to be happening with everything. Everything you get is either less quality and the price goes up, or it's smaller and the price goes up. It's just less value, costs more. And there's no difference with with school, with university and colleges, they're doing the same thing. And I think people are finally starting to kind of turn like it's turning, it's making a little bit of a turn now. I guess I don't know how to, whatever. I'm gonna say turn 7 more times, but it's kind of coming around again. Is where people are looking at trades and going into business for yourself for various things. Small sort of niche things. If you make a little widget that you make very well and you can get on Facebook or something like that, and you can sell it there. People are doing that now. I think it's a lot since the pandemic, which is great. So college and university degrees aren't going to be the same value that they were. And hopefully what ends up happening with that, whenever something gets less valuable, people would typically stop paying as much for it, right? The price would come down. But I don't know. In this case, with these colleges and universities, they just keep it seems like they just keep trying to push as far as they can and get as much out of there. Maybe they know it's a dying model and they're just trying to cash out as much as they can before it dies. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments.